The Swedish government is famous the world over for encouraging gender balance. Most of their government are committed towards promoting women's rights and battling all forms of violence and discrimination which restrict their freedoms in Sweden. It is with this in mind that the Swedish government is extending similar programs to marginalized and vulnerable communities in Kenya. Per Olsson Frith, the Swedish Minister for International Development Cooperation and Humanitarian Affairs, says his government is hoping to empower women in vulnerable communities. He says the funding of a 5,000 liters water catchment project in Marsabit is just the beginning of such programs in the country.
I represent a feminist government. So the rights, the resources, the representations of women and girls are always at the center of our work. And I'm really happy to see in these projects how we are able to combine the protection of nature, the enhancement of livelihoods with the empowerment of women and therefore empowerment of the communities. And creating a space for women to organize themselves and to raise their voice on their rights and on their needs, which is very much needed in all societies today.
Lilian Dozo is the National Director of World Vision Kenya. She says there is an urgent need to diversify livelihoods for vulnerable communities while ensuring that women are empowered.
What we've seen is that communities that were normally quite nomadic, they would move from place to place in search of pasture land. They are now a lot more settled. We've seen even a rise in the number of manyatas that are coming up in those areas. So that means children even are settled in one area. They are able to access vaccinations. They are able to go to school and have some kind of stability because their families are not so much on the move, looking for clean water or safe water for themselves and their livestock.
Speaking in Lysamis, Marsabit County, the Swedish minister confirmed that his government has 3 other projects with the Kenyan government, including enhancing and expanding democracy, transparency in the public space, as well as recovery of the economy that has been affected by COVID-19 pandemic.
And making sure that women and young people are also included in public life and in political life also. And then, of course, to adapt to climate change, mitigate climate change, protection of nature, biodiversity and our ecosystems. And then also, of course, and which is also extremely important also now through the COVID-19 pandemic, is that we can also recover the economy in a more inclusive way so that more people are part of the economy, more young people, more women are also part of access markets are part of the economy.
Mombi Wambogo, K24 Weekend Edition.